What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and talk about how on earth it actually compares with the SPY. So I'm going to do a comparative analysis of them. I'm going to show you some indicators out there that are suggesting that in the future we're probably going to see some downside for NIO and the overall market. Now I know you guys don't like to hear that, but once you see what the charts are telling us, what red flags there are for NIO, it's going to make a lot of sense what I'm about to tell you. Now, before I break any of this down, before I get into any details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Real quick, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. And the best part is, out of the 6 free stocks, you can always sell them for cash and buy some NIO shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 1 week. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, at the time I'm recording this thing just closed. I think the market just barely closed like a second ago. It's down about 1.59%. In my previous video, I was telling everyone that, look, we have this pennant that NIO started to respect quite recently, and we could have a breakout in either direction. And so far, we did break out a little bit in the downside. Now, we do have a gap right here around 20.95. But what you'll notice is that the bulls, the people that keep on trying to buy these dips, right, market makers, institutions, and so on and so forth, the bulls are still trying to hold this thing up. They saw this thing drop below 20, they pushed it up. They don't like to see that. But I mentioned to all of you that if we saw NIO starting to touch 20 and we don't get a big reversal, if we break below 20 and we start holding below that, we're most likely going to see a lot more bearish price action. That's kind of like what the chart was showing yesterday. We saw it drop below 20, which is a bearish indicator, but even though we dropped below it, after a few minutes, they didn't like what they saw. The bulls came in, they pushed it up a bit, and we did see NIO still kind of hold up. But I predicted that NIO would close around the mid $20 level. It was trading around the 21 range yesterday, and I was correct about that. We came pretty close to the mid $20 level, and we did end up testing the 20 support, and we're actually kind of downtrending a bit. Look at it over the last few days. Now, does this mean NIO is just going to plummet? The answer is no. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to just crash all the way down to like $11. No. What I'm saying is I believe there's going to be a bit of a downtrend for NIO, and we're going to see this thing drop a bit in small increments. So why do I think that's going to happen? Well, we have another red flag out there. You look at SPY, all right? Some people may think the SPY has a little bit more room for upside. Maybe NIO is going to get pushed up a little bit. But after that, it does look pretty bearish for SPY. Let me show you the daily chart of it. You could clearly see this downtrend the SPY has been respecting. Let me even bring up a 200 EMA just to show you. Look at the red line. This is the 200 EMA on the daily. You'll see right here, since its all-time high, it started downtrending below the 200 EMA, pushed up one last time before this thing started to drop pretty hard. Since then, we've been downtrending. So what are we seeing now? What is the SPY doing? And what you'll notice is we formed this double top right here, and we got one kind of like relief push. Typically during these, when the SPY makes these double tops, we have a tendency of kind of breaking down relatively soon. So I really don't like to say this, but the truth is we have been kind of making lower highs and lower lows. If you see the trend, we made a high here. We made a new low compared to where our previous low was. The high right here is lower than the previous high right here. So lower highs, lower lows over again. Now, how have we broken out of this trend? We haven't started to make new highs yet, and it's kind of looking like the SPY might fill the gap up here. Maybe it will, but soon it's going to fill the gap here, and then eventually I see it coming right back down to the 360s, continuing to drop over the next few weeks, especially as we approach the FOMC meeting, which is about 2 weeks away from now. So with that said, it's actually under 2 weeks away from now. There are some bearish indicators out there, and it's looking like NIO might get kind of dragged down. Let me show you the correlation between NIO and SPY. If you don't believe me, if you don't think that NIO is running with the overall market, I could actually prove it to you, or at least show you some but really strong evidence of that claim. Look at how NIO was trading over the last few months. Now, NIO was already dropping before SPY was. When the SPY pushed up, when NIO pushed up to its high of the year on the 3rd of January. And if you look at SPY, the SPY was at its high on the 3rd of January. The SPY drops to its low, the first low it made, the big one, on the 24th of February. If you look at NIO, 24th of February, right here, NIO hit its low at that time. Then it pushed up a bit. Now SPY pushed up just a little bit around March. We saw SPY pushed about $460 around the 30th of March. Whereas during that time, we saw NIO drop, and NIO pushed up a few days after. It was still pushing up around 30th of March up until April. And after that, when did the NIO hit its bottom? The 12th of May. If you look at SPY, when did the SPY hit its a very low level? On the 12th of May, we saw the SPY actually starting to downtrend. It pushes up, it dropped a little lower. And during that time, it does look like NIO was kind of close to its bottom like state, at least previous bottom. It started to uptrend due to earnings and other factors. But you'll see recently the SPY started to push up too, just like this. See how the SPY slowly started to kind of uptrend a little bit. Oops, right here. This is kind of like what we saw NIO doing somewhat. NIO was a little bit different though because of the lockdowns in China and other factors, so they did affect NIO differently. But overall, the trend tends to be similar. Now, my question to you is, okay, the SPY made kind of like a double top here. It's respecting a downtrend. Looks to me like it's going to continue to see some downside relatively soon. Maybe within the next few weeks, I do see the SPY dropping down. It may even go as low as the 350s. It may continue. If that's the case, I don't think NIO is going to hold up super well. We're seeing some signs of this thing's trying to drop down, and we're kind of respecting a pattern now. And this could be very easy to trade if you know what you're doing. You'll see NIO drops down to like what, 13 or so dollars. It pushed up to 24, dropped down to like 11.6, pushed up to 24, and now it's slowly starting to descend. So that doesn't mean it has to go all the way down to 11 bucks again. It might, but it's looking like it's going to slowly start to downtrend just temporarily. And that's what we're starting to see, this downtrend that's perpetuating. Look at the candles. They're getting lower slowly. It's just downtrending. Excuse me. So for NIO, what should you expect going forward? Maybe the SPY pushes one last time going into next week. Let me show you the 5-minute chart. And let me close the EMAs. The SPY has resistance around 390. If we do go as high as 390, I mean, I don't know if we're going to break out of it and fill the gap all the way up here to 388. Maybe we do. If it does fill the gap, maybe NIO, just maybe it could push up to 22 just one last time. Just maybe that's about a $1.25 move to the upside. Then we could start dropping. And I see this thing once again doing what it's been doing, breaking below 19, going back to the 18s, very much in the realm of possibility, while the SPY will simultaneously start dropping below 370 all the way down to the 360s. NIO is probably going to drop with SPY if we see that move. So when is NIO going to explode? When are we going to see the bullish move? The answer is once the market starts to recover, once the Fed announces quantitative easing, once we see inflation going down, when all those factors are aligned, that's going to be the big time. So with that said and done, be prepared and be patient. I'm not guaranteeing Monday will be red, but I do think NIO is going to see some kind of significant downside in the next few weeks. All right. So maybe, especially the last week of July, I do expect or think it's very likely we're going to see some red. So be prepared for that, NIO family. Please stay strong. And just remember, this is an opportunity to buy those dips. Very, very good opportunity. So be prepared for that. Stay strong, remain calm, cool, and collected, and please enjoy your weekend. As far as technicals go, if, like I mentioned before, if NIO drops below 20, if we can't even hold 20, we actually stay below 20 for quite a while. See, like in this move right here, we dropped below 20, but we actually got a big move to the upside after that because the bulls did not want this thing to drop that hard just yet. But if we hold below 20 for some time, we're going to fill the gap down to that low 19 level. All right. Be prepared for that. If NIO does push up, we get some very bullish price action. We have a gap, I think, around 20.9. So where is this? Like 20.96, I think, around there. We're probably going to fill that gap up if we could break past that 20.9 level. And then we also have room for a potential gap fill at 22.61 if the market's bullish enough to allow NIO to do that, but that's very unlikely that this gets filled first. It looks more likely like NIO's going to push up into next week, maybe the 21s, and slowly start to downtrend again, break below 20, and go back to the 19s. That seems a lot more probable based off the chart, based off what SPY is doing, and so on and so forth. So with that said and done, thank you for listening. Look at these dips as buying opportunities for the long term because, in my opinion, some very, very good moves are coming. You just have to be patient and remain calm, cool, and collected. With that said and done, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.